Hey, greetings, everyone. I hope that you're doing well today. Downtown San Diego, chilling right now. I decided to put something together to make me think about a few things. So, you're going to hear a lot of noise, and I hope that it doesn't interfere too much. But with that being said, I hope that this day find you and yours well. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please come on in and join me, and we're going to get this in. So, the thing today, we're going to talk about Adah. Adah. And how does Adah tie into the Masonic family? She being the first point on the star. How does Adah really tie in? I mean, we talk about the Eastern stars, but how does Adah tie into all of this? Where does she fit into this thing as far as the Masonic order in the Eastern Star? Well, Adah is the daughter of Jephthah. I may be mispronouncing his name, but if you look in the ninth Judges, the book of Judges, you will find that he went to war. Okay, he went to war, and in the process of going to war, he had promised God that he would honor him by killing the first animal that he seen or the first thing that he seen after he came back from war. So here's what you do, Masons and Eastern Stars. When you read about Adah, two things are taking place. All right, two things are taking place. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. I hope that you're doing well today. Let's see. Can I move this up? Oh, no, it's not coming up like I want. But I can't really see who's in. But definitely welcome to the live screen. I can't really see who's all in. But with that being said, so two things are taking place. First thing is that Adah is the sacrifice for her father and her loyalty. She was very loyal to what was being said and done in regards to her father making a promise to God. And then for you Masons, you're going to go and look and see as far as the password that was used during this war. Come on, hear me clearly. This is the connection. Go look at the password that was given, because there had to be a password because of the pronunciation of this particular password that Jephthah gave in regards to the war that was taking place. And then when he came back from war, his daughter was the first thing that he seen. And it was upon that honor that he had told God he would make the sacrifice. So she went into the mountains. And her and her friends, they was like, look, we need to go up into the mountains. My father made the sacrifice. So she went away for a short time. But when she came back, and she was going to be made the sacrifice, she was going to be made the sacrifice. And she laid upon the altar. And there a blue veil was placed upon her face. Okay? And three times, there's a significant thing with the three. Three times the veil was put upon her face, and each time she removed the veil because she was a sacrifice. And she did not want a veil upon her face because she was aiming and looking up towards the heavenly sky, and it was a pure blue sky. That's why her color is blue. So when you go back and you look at the password that was given, and you look at the connection that was given upon the sacrifice that she was going to make for her father's honor, the loyalty that was made, you will see then the connection. There you will find the password of the fellowship, hidden within the degree of Adah, which is the first point of a star. Just something to think about. You just go back and read it for yourself and you will see. Just like if you go and you find out for the second point, which is Ruth. I did something on that not long ago. And there you find the password to the first degree. But you got to know what you're looking for. I'm just telling you, it's there. And that is the tie-in and the significance to the Eastern Star world and to the Masonic world. This is why you find the brotherhood and sisterhood there. And not only that, when you look at the degree work of the Order of the Eastern Star, some may consider it to be truly a Christian degree work. But you can also find those same five herons in the in the Quran. You can find these same 5 herons in the Quran. So no, it's just not a Christian organization. It is an organization that is built around 5 distinct women and how they was honored in their life giving sacrifice for their people. Each one of those points on the star made a sacrifice for their humanity, for humanity. So you who are Eastern Stars, go read about those 5 points and understand the sacrifice that they made for humanity. Now, if you're a Mason, you will find that in the star point that each one has a tie-in to your password. Oh yeah, you didn't hear me though. I'm gonna say it again. Each one has a tie-in to your password. But you have to be able to go and look for yourself and find that. I'm not going to give it to you. I can tell you it's there. But you who are Eastern Stars, you who are Masons, and you're looking for the tie-in in these 5 herons, it is there. That's where you're going to find it at. So greetings to everybody who's coming on today. I want to send you a big shout out. I can't really see the comments. I don't see the comments here today, but today we're talking about Adah and how she ties into your 2nd degree as a Mason, and why is that such a thing to take a look at, because so many of us see the Eastern Star, see the Masons, and we don't know the connections in either one, because what you're looking for is not necessarily what you think. So I'm telling you that these 5 points in their tie-in has your password in them. Your password is hidden within the star point of the Eastern Star. It is actually hidden there. And you can actually go and read it and find it for yourself if you know what you're looking for. And I'm not going to tell you exactly where to go. I just want you to read it and find it for yourself, to know the connection and understand why the brotherhood and sisterhood is the way it is. Because as I've said many times before, and I'll say it until you find it for yourself, is that the compass and square is hidden within the star point. Okay? And then when you understand that it's hidden within the star point, that is why a lot of times, for those who don't know, you would say, where was you first prepared to be a Mason? In my heart. And your heart is hidden. Your actions are hidden within your heart. And if you really want your actions to be shown, it's going to come out. It's going to come from the heart. Your actions are going to come from your heart. Be it good, bad, or indifferent. That's where it's going to come from. So when you begin to break down those points and understand how they have protected the Masons, in my point of view, then and only then are you going to understand your true connection to everything that is around you. And I know many of you are probably gone who are not Masons of the Eastern Star. You can go by the ritual, you can read it, and you can do all of that. But until you go through the initiation rites and ceremonies, it's not going to grab you like those who have already gone through it. See, for those of us who have traveled the star point, those of you who have walked the labyrinth, understood why you've gone through such a ritualistic rite, you're going to have a different point of view than those who just picked up the book and read it and tried to fill in those 5 points. You're going to have a different point of view, and that's quite okay. Hey, little one, what's going on with you? Yeah, you're gonna definitely have a different point of view. Hold on just a second. The OES and the Masons, then you're going to be able to see these points and what they mean to your password, because each point has your password in it. And nobody never told you that the password of Ruth is found in the Masons. Nobody never told you that your password for the 2nd degree is found within Adah. Nobody never told you that your password as a Master Mason is going to be found in your other points. But what they've told you is that, hey, you know what? I'm a Mason, I'm an Eastern Star, without even understanding your connections to what it is that you are a part of. They're not even telling you how is this going to shape, how is this going to bring us in to be able to relate to each other on our travels. I know a lot of jurisdictions say, well, if you join my jurisdiction, I've heard it. If you join my jurisdiction, you're going to have to redo the initiation. I've heard brothers say, well, if you come into my lodge, you got to be reinitiated. I would like to know from anybody who's ever switched from lodge to lodge and gone from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, is there anything different? Is there anything different than what you've already gone through? Now, here's what I do know. What's going to be the true difference is in your obligation, because now when you take and you move your membership to another jurisdiction, your obligation is to the jurisdiction for which you're becoming a member of. So when you look at these, do the password change? Do the password change when you go into another jurisdiction and leave your current one? Do the signs change? Do the signs and symbol change? And the reason I'm asking this, please hit the thumbs up button, is because a lot of times their membership, they tell you that you got to be initiated, they tell you got to be all of this, when it doesn't even matter. The only thing truly matters is that you're going to be re-obligated into a jurisdiction where you're going to be, that's where your dedication is going to be. Your constitution and bylaws that's going to govern you come from that jurisdiction. But to re-initiate you into something that you've already been initiated to doesn't make quite enough sense for me, because you're going to know the passwords. You're going to know the signs. You're going to know all of that. You're going to be able to identify and travel just as you've always traveled. I've heard brothers and sisters from various jurisdictions say, well, when I go over here, I have no more fellowship with them. What type of sense does that make? When you have the same passwords, when you have the same signs. So you tell me when I leave my former jurisdiction and I join you, you're telling me I no longer have a Masonic tie? That is crazy. If you was initiated to modern free, raised, passed, and did all of that, and now you're telling me because I'm over here with you, I no longer have a Masonic tie with them. That Masonic tie is your bond. That is your word. When you first give your word, it's given. You can't take that back. You can't take that back because you went over and joined John G. Jones Grand Line and you was a former member of Modern Free. All you're going to do is re-obligate yourself to that Grand Lodge, which now you are part of, because the signs are the same. The passwords are the same. It is your obligation and constitution that you have to abide by now. That is new. But if your constitution and bylaws that you want to abide by telling you that, hey, you can no longer have any contact with those folks over there, knowing that you have made a bond with them, knowing that you've supported them, they have supported you. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I will never do that. If I ever left this jurisdiction and I joined California Grand Lodge, and they said, well, Brother Hawkins, we know that you have come, you moved your membership over here, we're going to reinitiate you. What is the surprise that you have for me? If that is a requirement that you have to reinitiate me into the Masons and Eastern Stars, why? I know the passwords, I know the signs. Oh, we're going to make you whole. Make me whole from what? You have no surprise for me. There's nothing that I don't already know because I've gone through this ritualistic ceremony. The only thing I'm going to do is retake an obligation to this Grand Lodge. The Constitution that I signed, the Book of Constitution and bylaws that I signed is to this organization. But the bond I have before I came here is a bond that I'm going to keep, bar none. The friendship that I have, that I made before I came here, is a friendship I'm going to keep. Because see, when I needed those brothers there, I'm leaving. When I needed them, they was there for me. When I went through my hardship, when I went through issues, they was there for me. So that bond that I had with them, I'm going to keep. I'm not going to shun them. You're less than a man, you're less than a woman if you want to shun someone who was there with you when you needed them. Plain and simple. And I know people say, well, I left because I felt that I wasn't getting the needed instructions or teachings. I get it. That is a legitimate reason to leave. I left because someone told me that they was irregular, they was clandestine, and that is your reason for leaving. I'm not going to even argue with that. But that bond that you have, that friendship that you develop, and the things that you went through with that person, and if it's true to you and it's true to them, I can never throw that aside. I can never throw that aside. If they reach out to me, I am there. If you tell me you got a function and you want me to attend your function to support you, I am there. I don't understand when you understand the connection between the Order of the Eastern Star and the Freemasons and how the passwords that we have are inside of that star. You're going to tell me no? I'm just saying. I'm just looking at it for what it's worth. Because if you are a student of the craft, if you are a student of the order, you can find everything you want to tie it in. You can find it. But you have to be a student to it. You have to be an astute to it. You have to open and study it for yourself and understand the big picture, not just the micro, not just the micro part of it. Oh, I'm here. No, there's a bigger picture at play. There is truly a bigger picture at play. And what I've done for myself, and I can't speak for anybody else, what I've done for myself is to be able to identify the bigger picture at play. And when you are able to identify that, being a Mason, being an Eastern Star is so much broader than where you're at. But if you don't apply it, if you don't go in search of it, you'll be forever one of those individuals who are so hell-bent and so stuck on and so claustrophobic and so inverted until you won't understand it, until you won't get it. I don't look for people to always agree with me. I don't. I want you to go get it for yourself and then come back and tell me I'm wrong or if I'm right. Have that experience for yourself. Have the experience of traveling outside of the country for yourself. Have the experience of visiting a variety of different Masonic lodges and chapters for yourself. Have that experience for yourself, and then we can talk. When you don't have the experience, we can't really have a conversation on it. That's a fact. So when you go into the Eastern Star work as a Mason, as a patron, associate patron, or even just a member, learn their work so you'll be able to communicate effectively with that system. So when you are approached by a sister who's a member of the Eastern Star, you can legitimately have a Q&A question in regards to the workings of the Eastern Star. A lot of you can't have that. A lot of brothers can't have that conversation because a lot of brothers say, I ain't dealing with no Eastern Star. Nah, I don't. But in order for you to have that conversation, I would suggest that you do deal with the Order of the Eastern Star, because there are some sisters out here who really will go to bat for a brother. I mean, you're a Mason? I got you. I've seen them. I've had my dealings with sisters or a sister who will really go to bat for that brother, and they're not even in the same jurisdiction. But because you are a part of this family of Masons and Eastern Stars, it is a beautiful thing. Let me tell you just how true it is. I have a sister who's in my jurisdiction, and she has an awesome job as far as I know of, and she's in a position of, she's in a good spot. But her manager, her superior person is a Mason. Okay? And because of that connection, and I'm going to tell you this, they're not even in the same Masonic jurisdiction. But because of the connection that they have, Okay, they work together very well. I'm going to put it like that. I'm not going to go into details, but they work together very well because the brother understands the sister understands the brother, and it's the bond that they have developed amongst each other. Being a Mason and Eastern Star, they're able to gravitate and understand that works. A lot of us won't get there. A lot of us won't get there because we don't study. A lot of us won't get there because you say, man, his attitude or her attitude. But when you are a student of the craft, when you are a student of the sisterhood, that goes totally left. It leaves because you understand the big picture. The big picture. And that's what I hope most of us would gather when we become Masons and Eastern Stars. Gather the big picture. Not that small little picture of your Masonic jurisdiction. I am Grand Lodge of this, I am Grand Lodge of that. But you got to look at the whole picture. And when you get there, you're going to have that aha moment. You're going to have that moment where you like, yeah, I got it. I got it now. I understand it now. But until you go through the ritualistic rites and ceremonies, you're not going to gather it. It's not going to come to you like that. It is not going to pop off like that. Please hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. So that's the importance of understanding the OES degree work, brothers. Sisters, that's the importance of understanding your own works. So when a brother approaches you, I see that you're a member of the Eastern Star. I am. Now, how are you going to continue that conversation, brother? I'm asking, how are you going to continue that conversation? Now that you've identified yourself as a Mason, she knows and she's the Eastern Star. Now, how are you going to continue that? Is it just that's where you're going to end it at? Are you going to be able to, hey, sisters, how many signs? How many, are you going to be able to go into that? How many paths? Are you going to be able to have that conversation? Because if you're not able to have that conversation, and she can move you, then I don't know. That's the beauty I find in the Order of the Eastern Star, is being able to have that conversation with that sister regarding her works and tying it in to being a Mason. And being able to do that, now I can really go into depth in regards to why the passwords are hidden within the framework of the Order of the Eastern Star. And nobody never told a sister that those passwords was there. And I don't know how many brothers actually knew that their passwords were there. You're not going to do it until you become an astute reader of the degree work. And you're not going to understand that until you have been initiated, passed, and raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason. And the sisters, you're not going to understand it because nobody's never told you that they was there. You have passed over them, you have read them, you have done it all. But because nobody never pointed it out to you, they was just words that you read and didn't understand them. This is why even in Adah, in her death, when she had the veils put over her face, 3 times she removed it. That sign that she gives is identical. Okay, it's almost identical to a sign that a Master Mason gives when he's in danger. The sign of Adah is very similar to the sign that a Master Mason gives when he's in danger. And those of you who are Master Mason know exactly what I'm saying. So sisters, you know, of the Order of the Eastern Star, your signs are very similar to those of the degree work of Mason. Oh, it's true. It's true. And the only reason you don't know is because nobody has pointed them out to you. The only reason you don't know is because you read it, but you didn't know. And the only reason a brother don't know is because he has no idea what the Eastern Star Works is all about. But I can tell you that your sign, the signs that you give, are very similar to the signs within the framework of Masonry. I demonstrate them all the time when I'm at my Blue Lodge meetings. So my brothers will be able to assist a sister when she's in distress. So my brothers need to understand that when a sister is in distress, they have a sign. So he would be able to recognize those signs of those points when his sister is in distress or needs some assistance. I want my brothers to understand why a sister does what they do. And then he can go and assist and aid. A lot of brothers don't know the signs of the Order of the Eastern Star. They don't know. So even if a sister was in distress and she was given a sign, most Masons wouldn't be able to recognize the sign. This is the lesson. This is the connection we should be looking at. This is the thing we should be focused on. Because those signs that sister gives is very similar to your signs, brother. Very similar. Go check out Adah. If you're a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, and you're a Mason, and you're a patron, go look at her sign and look at your sign and see the very similarities in it. Oh, it is totally, totally awesome. But you got to know what you're looking at. That's why they tell you that Masonry is hidden within veils and allegories. You know, signs and symbols. You got to know what you're looking at. And if you don't know what you're looking at, you wouldn't be able to assist the sister. If you wanted to, you couldn't help her. But out of the goodness of your heart, because she's a lady, you would help her. But what if she was a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star? She gave you a sign. Would you be able to recognize that sign? Would you? Man, I wish I could see the comments, and I can't. You know, maybe I have it turned off. I have to go check. But that's the thing. That would be me. You know, I would definitely want to be able to recognize the signs of a sister, so I would be able to come to her need, come and assist and aid her. But most brothers don't understand their signs, nor do they understand their symbolism and how they tie into each other. So you don't know. Yes, you would probably go over and help that sister anyway. You would probably do that. But to know the signs of a sister when she's in distress or danger is the icing on the cake with all of the ingredients that makes the cake. Now you know. Now you understand why the sisters do what they do in order to get your attention as a brother who's a Mason. And now that you are a Mason, and you said as a patron or associate patron, you know the signs and symbols of a sister. And you can see those same signs and symbols within your own Masonic work. No, but you ain't ready for that conversation. You ain't ready for that because you're too hell-bent on some other stuff. You're missing the bigger picture of what it is to be a Mason and what it is to be an Eastern Star, because you over here somewhere. You know? Never. I'm going to say this here. If you ever leave your Masonic jurisdiction and you are petitioning another Masonic home or Eastern Star chapter, and they tell you that you have to go back to these rites and ceremonies, you ask them why. And then they're going to say it's to make you whole. Whole of what? And if you're really proficient in your degree work, you challenge their ass and see how proficient they are. That's what you do. So when you're going and you're knocking on the door of another Masonic jurisdiction, petitioning them to move your membership over there to their Masonic home, and they open the door and you say, well, I'm a member of such and such, I'd like to move my membership. And they say, well, you know, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to renounce that jurisdiction. You're going to have to go back through the ritualistic rites and ceremonies. And you say, okay, but before I do that, I need to challenge you. Do you know your works? And if they can't accept the challenge and they looking at you like you boo-boo the fool, you don't know what you're talking about, that's not the place for you to go because they don't know their works. That's me. If I ever decided to leave and go to someplace else, and they're going to say, well, Brother Tony, we got to reinitiate you. Okay, but before we do that, Let's have this conversation. And if I'm found to be proficient in my degree work and you're not, then there's no need of me even coming over here. Because apparently you don't know your degree work. I must continue my journey. That's me. That's the mindset of a true Mason. That's the mindset of someone who's a true star. When you know your works, it's a wrap. I don't care what you say. It is truly a wrap. When you understood the obligation that you took was not just to your lodge. It was not just to your lodge. It was not just to your jurisdiction. That obligation was inclusive of those who have traveled that same path. You can add on whatever you want to add on to it. But the obligation you took as an Eastern Star, the obligation that you took on as a Mason is to the craft. It is to the fraternal whole. Although you may say, well, it's exclusively to my jurisdiction. No, it's not exclusively to your jurisdiction. Go back and read it. Go back and read it. And I have many of Masonic books with the obligation in it. It wasn't exclusively to my Grand Lodge. It wasn't exclusively to my jurisdiction in Grand Chapter. It was inclusive to those who are found worthy and well qualified, as I am myself. It was inclusive to those who was in need when I found them to be such. It was inclusive to all of those elements of being a Mason and the principles for which I said I was abide by. It was to that I owe. Now, all the other rhetoric that I hear, it's for naught. I heard a sister tell another sister, yeah, if you want to join my chapter, you have to be reinitiated. I read that. I seen it for myself. Reinitiated into what? What am I being reinitiated into? That's the question you got to ask yourself, brothers and sisters, when you are leaving your Masonic jurisdiction to go any place else. What am I being reinitiated to? What's so special about your jurisdiction that I have to be reinitiated into it when I've already gone through the rites of passage? You tell me. Until next time, peace and be well. I hope that this episode brings some clarity to you in your journey and understanding the cohesiveness of the Order of the Eastern Star and the Brotherhood of Freemasonry. Stay out the bushes and keep your light on. I'm here to help you study, but I'm not your study guide. Peace and be well.